So first off, how you feeling? I know you took some bumps and bruises throughout the season, even in the playoffs. How are you coming out of the season physically?
Physically?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a couple finger broken, but yeah, it's always hard here physically. You always have a bump. Everyone has something, but yeah, for me it was the two fingers, those two broken. So that was for me my challenge, and yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's always hard physically.
Were those being dealt with during the playoffs, or?
No, I had this one. This one was broken here for probably a month. I broke it back then in Edmonton, actually, and then that's why I was out for like 3 games. It was too sharp of pain, but yeah, so I dealt with it and started playoff with the pain as well. And this one happened game 2, I think. It was the finger broken year, I guess.
Did that impair you in terms of whatever, like shooting puck, or how did it affect you?
Yeah, shooting was hard. Battles, sometimes, like I just felt like they were like dislocating every time. So that was a little scary sometimes, but I mean, it's just, yeah, definitely face off a little bit too, like just little details that was harder for me, but no excuse really.
Phil, how much change do you anticipate this summer with this organization? Whether it's roster, behind the bench, perhaps even front office, perhaps?
Well, we have to take another step. That's we have to pass the first round. We have to go far. So I'm assuming a couple changes can happen. I know we were tight with the cap space this year. It was harder, but I think it's going up this year. So I don't know. I'm not the GM, the owner. I don't know. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I'm sure there's going to be some movement.
You mentioned the other night, like you said, you guys had dealt with the cap all year. I'm sure you were patently aware of that. Was that tough at the trade deadline to see other teams, other powers make moves, and you guys were largely unable to?
Yeah, I think it was tough a little bit, but we all understood the situation, and it's not it wasn't Blakey's fault or anything like that. It's just it's sometimes like we decide to make our move in the summer before, like same thing with me, free agent, or Kevin, RV. So we all came in the summer. So some teams like to make those moves in the summer, and so other teams like they do a trade deadline moves if they can. So for us, we were like our move was already made.
What do you think Pierre-Luc struggled so much all season?
I mean, it's new organization, new everything, big contract, pressure's on. I don't know, lots of hockey, it's so many things in the same boat. It's hard, and you're not gonna have always 65 to whatever, like the 65-point season every year. Like he used to play with really good players as well, like Panarin, Atkinson, these players. So it was a different game for him for sure this year, a different challenge, and I think it was hard to perform through that adversity.
What does this team need to take the next step?
I don't know. I'm not the GM, but we need more. I don't know, a little more power, offensively as well. I can't say though, like I can't point my finger on what we need exactly, but we definitely needs to be stronger mentally, I think, and want to, like the last 2 games we played so well, and it should be like that every time. It should be the same exact way every time, and the result is not going to be the same every night, and sometimes the schedule gets harder, we get it, but moving on to the playoff, we need to have our consistency better in our game, and we have to have the feeling that every time we go to the rink, we know what to expect from each other, and we didn't have that so much towards the end of the season. So we had it at the beginning of the year, actually, and had that feeling that you come to the rink and on the road, whatever, you know what you're going to do, what you have to do to win. And there's ups and downs in the season, don't get me wrong, but just our consistency need to be a little better.
What do you think changed? Why do you think that was lacking later in the season? The expectation and predictability among each other, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. And so many things, new coaches, like, I don't know. I thought Jimmy did a great job, by the way. You know, he, get the details back for us and play the right way. So.
You mentioned making your decisions during the summer roster-wise, but in 22, when you guys came in, the depth of the organization was big. You had so many things with COVID and injuries, and that's kind of what got you into the playoffs. This year, it was a lot of kind of roster freeze. There wasn't a lot of flexibility to bring guys up. Was that frustrating? And when you did, some of them showed promising results, like Thomas and Clark and so forth. Was that maybe a little bit of a strain not to have a little bit more moving parts, fresh legs, that sort of thing?
Yeah, and I think it was frustrating for Blakey too. Like, he's hentai, so it's frustrating for everyone to see that. But at the end of the day, I wasn't thinking about it too much. You know, I was just playing my game. You don't want to focus on negative stuff, and but a little bit frustrating for sure.
So your line mate Trevor had a great goal scoring season. What was the difference this year than other years from your vantage point?
He had more confidence. We got to know each other, you know, on the ice for the last 3 years, so he's more confident, and he got a baby, maybe. Maybe it helped. Yeah, he's confident, and he worked hard. He's got a good shot, very good shot. I think he got that confidence back in his game, and I'm not surprised. Not surprised about Trevor.
So you played with Victor for pretty much 3 years. How nice was it to see him the second time come back and stay back with how
Yeah,
he
yeah. Harvey had it tough, but he's a key player for us still. You know, even if he wasn't lined up, we missed that little righty for us, and that offensive touch that he had, and dedication. So he had it tough, but he's definitely a key. He was a key righty.
Phil, can I go back to your fingers? What's the plan? How do you need surgery? How do they heal?
Yeah, no surgery, and unless I would get another shot, then I would have had this place maybe, but I got lucky on that part. No surgery, just time, and yeah, healing process.
Can I ask
6 weeks, I think.
Andre was talking about PL and how he tried to, talk to him, and sometimes it was about hockey, sometimes it was about not talking about hockey. Did you have that kind of relationship with PL, and maybe, what?
Yeah.
What's that? How did you try and help him?
Yeah, I think, you don't want to talk about hockey too much sometimes. You don't want to. I think PL, that was his thing. He didn't want to talk too much about it because he knew he had a tough year, and yeah, it's never steady for anyone. And for his case, it was just harder because it was a new contract, a big one, and lots of expectations. So very hard mentally, very hard year mentally.
Kind of the other side of the coin, we saw Quinton Byfield have a stretch of about 40 games that was excellent overall, good season. Just your thoughts on how he stepped forward on the ice, but also maybe becoming more assertive among the group and integrating himself better, I guess.
Yeah, Q was big part of our success this year, and he showed everyone that the step he could take, and he's only 21 years old or 22, so he showed the strength he had, the upside, good offensively, he cared defensively, back check hard, forward check, so he showed those fresh young legs this year, and we could see his confidence, and he was stronger, and yeah, so I was very happy to see that, and he was huge for us.
A lot of fondness you expressed for RV, even in this sitting. Obviously, it's up for a new contract. How much would you love to see him back next year?
RV?
RV is up for a new contract.
Yeah.
How much would you love to see him back? I know you have a lot of fondness for him.
Arvidsson, yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, he's a key. he's been a key player for us. As long as he stay healthy, that's his big thing. But like I said, he was huge for us. Always was a pleasure to play with him, and he show up every night, and he's dedicated, and he wants to be the difference every night. He cared defensively, block shot, so pretty complete player, and they bring that depth on the power play as well, and those ideas, and a very smart player.
So when you first signed here in LA, you mentioned that the opportunity to maybe take on a more offensive role, not just be a shutdown guy, was a big reason you wanted to come here. How would you feel as part of the next step of this organization to move forward was maybe you moving back to more of a defensive role? Would you be happy with that, or do you want to stick maybe more with the offensive type of role?
Whatever it takes to win, but I'm not gonna change my role. I mean, always been playing the same way, two-way games. So we have good wingers. So wherever I play or whoever I play with, whatever it takes to win.
Phil, you said you're not the GM, but are there enough good players on the team to make a deep playoff run that maybe a different coach or a different system can get at?
Yeah, I think. I mean, like let's say this series, you play 5-on-5, the whole series is a different game. So, but we need to adjust a couple things, for sure, to make a deep run. That's what I think.